MVP Track and Field Club was pretty much formed to give an opportunity for persons to be locally trained to international standards.
In 1999, Stephen Francis, Paul Francis, his brother, David Noel, and myself decided that we needed to create a Jamaican training option for post-high school Jamaican athletes.
Traditionally, youngsters who were doing track and field had one single route. If they were fortunate enough to be in a program where the coaches had the know-how or the contacts overseas, they would get a scholarship and go away to a university overseas, and there is usually a hit and miss ratio as to whether or not they would be successful or not.
Stephen Francis came to the University of Technology and said he would offer his IAAF certified training skills for free to UTech so as to have an opportunity to train our MVP athletes here at UTech, and that's what the relationship really started.
Stop! Next back stretch.
MB provided a local alternative. It wasn't necessarily the first, but the first of its kind in an organized, sustainable way to give them an option of remaining home and training.
Here is always warm. Overseas, it is cold, and maybe you have to try to adapt to the climate. But here it's a better place to train, I would say.
The biggest challenge we found is that Jamaicans did not believe that Jamaican coaches, Jamaican managers, training Jamaican athletes on Jamaican facilities could really be the best in the world.
I can safely say that our organization would have had some of the fastest improving athletes who were not popular in the Jamaican system. And a lot of our athletes would have left and gone to other institutions or other clubs, and would have helped in the development of those clubs.
From a business perspective, we started off at MVP with no roadmap, no blueprint, no guidance, and so that was a real challenge for us, and we had to kind of work our way through. It was two forms of financing. It was all equity and prayer. That's really what it boiled down to. Our personal equity, in fact, Coach Stephen Francis got to near bankruptcy in trying to finance the establishment of the MVP Track and Field Club. From an athletic perspective, we knew what we wanted to do. We wanted to train as many athletes as we could in as many disciplines as we could to make sure all of them were not just the best in Jamaica, but the best in the world.
All successful sporting teams understand that discipline and consistency are keystones to success for athletes, whatever the sport.
Basically, our mission was started out really by trying to help those athletes who would have left high school and were not able to get a scholarship abroad. And what we have done recently is to focus on the athletes who would have left GC Foster. So most of the athletes who are in the club are from GC Foster College, or former past students of GC Foster College.
What we've found at MVP is that the marketplace pays for performance. The marketplace wants the very best in the world. The fans want the fastest athletes. The media wants information on the very best athletes. The corporations want to be associated with the best. And of course, the competition out there. We want the best in class competition. And that's what we have had to do at MVP Track and Field Club. From an operational perspective, we had to make sure that our coaches, our support staff, our physiotherapists, everybody who is working with the athletes was giving them the very best, because they can't half-step when they go international. They have to be the very best in the world.
What MVP offers is also available at some of our other top training groups, but MVP has a marriage and MOU with the University of Technology. We, the heads of MVP, believe very strongly in education. A youngster has a talent to run and can be useful to an institution such as this. So it's a quid pro quo. You're there to run and represent the university well, and in exchange the university may assist you with a scholarship.
We at MVP market the club by way of our successes on the track. We really believe it's about the results. We are a results-oriented organization. We are a meritocracy. The better you do on the track, the better you'll do off the track as well. And so that is how we approach companies. And we say to companies, we have a formula that delivers the very best athletes in the world.
We offer a humanitarian look. We try our best to keep our athletes grounded, ensure they understand that whatever, if they are to achieve something, they'll have to earn it. And I think at the end of the day, it makes them into a lot more rounded individuals.
The key strategy from an infrastructure perspective of the MVP Track and Field Club is that we want to be all things to our athletes. So we not only provide them with the coaching, but the physical therapy, the medical needs, the financial needs, the banking needs, any need that an athlete would have, nutrition, transportation, accommodation, schooling. That's why we have the relationship with the University of Technology. Any and every need that a student athlete would have should be met by the MVP Track and Field Club, and we should be able to organize that. And that's why we kind of have a built-in limit. We don't believe that we should go beyond 100 members of the club from an athletic perspective, simply because beyond that it's difficult to manage and provide all the needs.
Being close to the MVP team, I really took time out to observe in terms of the model from an outward, because I'm not internally involved in the club, but from an external standpoint. So I think I would have learned a lot in terms of communication with the entities that are involved with that club. And from there, it really assisted me.
Our source of income is earnings from the athletes. The athletes earn money, and that's how we finance the continued development and growth of the company. Our athletes earn money by competing internationally. The financing of track and field globally is rooted by way of the IAAF, and that's a global governing body, and they have required that agents be the only ones who negotiate with them. If you want to go and compete on the international circuit, the first step, I guess, would be a coach, but really the second step would be getting an agent who can negotiate with you, and the meet promoters pay the agents, and then the agents take their fees and pay the athletes. So for you to earn internationally as a track and field athlete, you need to have an internationally certified IAAF agent. We want all Jamaican sporting bodies who feel they have an opportunity to grow or develop, not to necessarily match our business model, but to at least be aware of what our strengths are and see if it can assist them in developing their sports. We want to be able to support all sporting models. We really believe that sports is a great way to get the country developed in a very positive fashion.